Friends, imagine a scenario where Russia suddenly goes out of control and decides to invade America. To begin with, Russia gathers all its active troops in one place and quickly forms a regular army of about 1.2 million soldiers. But even that isn't enough to take over a country as large as the United States. So, Russia calls in its reserve forces. From every corner of the country, reservists start marching toward military camps, and before long, Russia amasses a gigantic force of nearly 3.2 million troops. At this point, Russia has the largest army in the world. To further strengthen its power, it creates a special base and summons all its covert units. Russia's most elite and secretive soldiers gather there, and soon 250,000 special forces operatives stand ready, highly trained troops who are incredibly difficult to defeat. Now, Russia prepares for a full-scale surprise attack on America. With such a massive army, it hopes to overwhelm the US before it can organize a defense. But inside Russia, there are American intelligence agents who manage to send an urgent warning back to the United States. America now faces a crucial decision. It immediately alerts its armed forces across the country. Soldiers begin moving toward their bases, and soon the US gathers a standing army of about 1.4 million. But it doesn't stop there. Additional troops receive the call, and more units rush in, raising the total to nearly 2.2 million. However, by this time, Russia's army has already reached Alaska and is launching fast, aggressive attacks on American camps there. A small number of US soldiers in Alaska attempt to hold them back, but they are heavily outnumbered. Russia attacks with full force and defeats them completely. Enraged, the United States mobilizes a powerful force of 200,000 elite soldiers and sends them to confront the invading army. They move quickly to defend Alaska, but they arrive too late. Russia has already taken control of the region. Now, Russia sets its eyes on the next strategic target, Canada. If Russia manages to capture Canada, moving deeper into the United States will become far easier, putting the entire country at serious risk. Now, Russia decides it must capture Canada at any cost. Controlling Canada would give Russia a massive strategic advantage. But at the Canadian border, America's strongest units are already stationed, preventing Russian forces from advancing. Seeing its territory in grave danger, Canada sends an urgent message to the United States. It wants to merge with America in exchange for full military protection. If the US accepts, it will have to deploy additional troops to defend Canada. But the decision also comes with a major benefit. America would gain access to Canada's huge reserves of oil and gas, resources that could help sustain a long war against Russia. The US agrees, and Canada officially becomes part of America so it can receive complete protection. Immediately, Canadian troops march toward the American base, and very quickly, the US increases its army by another 200,000 soldiers. When news of this alliance reaches Russia, it is furious. Russia orders its strongest units to mobilize and march toward American territory. The Russian army now prepares to confront what has become the most powerful military force in the world. Russia pushes forward, determined to crush the American lines. Their numbers far exceed those of the American troops, but what the Russians don't know is that America has already set a deadly trap. A huge portion of Russia's advancing soldiers walk straight into the hidden trap and are wiped out. This becomes a devastating loss for Russia. The remaining Russian forces strike back with full intensity, and American troops fight bravely in return. Although many American soldiers fall, Russia's losses are far greater. In response, Russia sends every last remaining unit into the battle, and both nations unleash their full strength. Soldiers from both sides collapse one after another. Despite having a much larger army, Russia still ends up suffering the heavier losses. Eventually, the surviving Russian troops retreat back toward Alaska. This marks a major victory for America, but when Russia learns of this defeat, its anger only grows. It sends a message demanding America's immediate surrender. The US refuses. Its soldiers are fully prepared to defend their homeland with everything they have. Now Russia decides to bring out its most powerful weapon, its tanks. It sets up a massive staging ground and orders every tank across the nation to converge there. One by one, machines from all corners of Russia roll toward the camp, and soon Russia assembles a terrifying force of 6,000 advanced tanks. These are the deadliest machines in its arsenal, and the moment they enter American territory, they plan to launch a massive surprise attack intended to crush all US forces at the border. America believes Russia's strength is nearly exhausted and that its forces will soon pull back from Alaska. But this time, Russia is determined to take complete control of the United States. If Russia succeeds in capturing all of America, it will rise as the most powerful nation on the planet. Meanwhile, America must defend its territory with everything it has, because if Russia wins this war, it won't stop there. It will begin conquering other countries one after another, plunging the world into chaos. To protect global peace, America has no choice but to stop Russia's advance at any cost. Russia commands its massive tank force to move toward America, planning a sudden, overwhelming attack meant to wipe out all US troops stationed along the border. If successful, America will be left dangerously vulnerable. But just in time, American supreme agents send out a warning, revealing Russia's incoming tank assault. The US must now act immediately and decisively. Hesitation could cost the country its land and its future. America quickly sets up a large command center and begins assembling its own advanced tank units. Before long, the US gathers 4,600 powerful tanks. Meanwhile, Russia prepares an even bigger move. It establishes a major base near Lenzik City and leaves behind 2,000 heavy tanks as backup to block any potential European counterattack. Then, with the remaining 4,000 advanced tanks, Russia pushes forward at full speed to destroy American territory. These tanks are moving rapidly and will reach the US border very soon. On the American side, only 1,500 tanks are ready for combat so far, but these aren't ordinary machines. They are the most modern, powerful tanks America has ever produced. The US orders them to head straight to the border and they rush forward at full speed. However, Russia has already been tipped off. Deep inside America, Russian undercover agents have informed Moscow about the movement of these American tanks. In response, Russia secretly deploys its most classified combat helicopters to the US border. These helicopters are equipped to launch devastating airstrikes and completely obliterate the American tank units. Once they are destroyed, Russia's ground forces plan to sweep into America with unstoppable force. Now, American tanks are racing toward the front lines, unaware that Russian helicopters are already hidden and waiting to annihilate them. To see what happens next, don't forget to subscribe for the next episode.